What's up, gamers? Papa Jumpluff back at it again. Another deck profile. We're headed into the Lake of Rage tournament this Saturday in Avon, Connecticut. Check the Discord for more info. The Discord link is in most of my videos, so go look at a gameplay video. The link is in those descriptions. I'll eventually add it to these deck profile descriptions. But anyway, without further ado, this is the most current updated list for my Zap Trap deck, which is my favorite aggressive and very disruptive deck for the Pokemon WOTC20 format. So to start things off, we're going right in with 4 copies of Cleffa. You already know. Next is we've got 3 copies of Rocket Zapdos. Rocket Zapdos is a prime attacker. It's the namesake of the deck. You've got Plasma, which takes a electric energy back from the discard pile and attaches it to Rocket Zapdos, fueling you up to the Electro Burn attack, which does massive damage. We've got a fighting resistance, and we've got no weakness. This is like a premium haymaker Pokemon. Also, extremely affordable. Go watch my market watch. Extremely affordable Pokemon these days. Next in line, we've got 4 copies of Electabuzz. Also, 70 HP for 1 energy. You're getting 10 damage, which isn't anything to write home about, but on a coin flip, you can paralyze the opponent's Pokemon, preventing them from retreating, other than with a warp energy. For 2 energy, you've got pretty sweet numbers. It's 2 energy for 30 guaranteed. Then you flip a coin. If heads, it deals plus 10, so 40. On tails, you take 10 recoil damage, but this is still fine because you've got a lot of HP on this guy. Fantastic Pokemon. Also part of the original OG Haymaker deck. This is just, we're going for all electric here. Next is 4 copies of Hoot Hoot and 4 copies of Neogenesis Noctowl. Noctowl is a big disruption package. There's 4 copies here because we want to be as consistent as possible, and you get to do 1 flip per turn per Noctowl. So your Glaring Gaze, you flip a coin. If heads, look at your opponent's hand, which is great for just getting information, and then you get to choose a trainer card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it back into their deck, thereby preventing effects like Item Finder from being able to pick it back up out of the discard pile. So just all around great Pokemon. We're able to get anywhere from 2 to 4 of these per game based on like playing this deck. That's just been my experience. And then I've got a single copy of Unknown E. There's a bit of a meme with this card because of this first trainer card that's in here. So you offer your Pokemon power, which is engage, to your opponent first, and you let them know, like, hey, do you want to shuffle your hand in and draw 4? Either way, you may do the same. However, if you've got a Rocket's Trap in your hand, you can just decline to shuffle your hand back in, then hit them with Rocket's Trap, and if you flip heads and they've taken 4 cards, you shuffle 3 of those cards back into their deck without looking at them, putting your opponent on 1 card in hand, which is extremely backbreaking in this game, where it's heavily dependent on card draws and coin flips. So, you've got a shot at victory if they're able to fall for the old Unknown E. Otherwise, it's just great to refresh your hand. So, yeah. Next is those trainer cards. So we're not on just 1, the Rocket's Trap. We are on 4 copies of the Rocket's Trap because of how powerful this disruption is when it lands. So we want to maximize our chances at hitting it once or twice per game, which can seriously swing the tempo in our favor. And so statistically, with 4 of them, and it's on a coin flip, it's got to happen twice, right? So that's the reason for the 4 Rocket's Trap. Next, for more disruption, we've got 3 copies of Rocket Sneak Attack. This is the same thing as Noctowl's Glaring Gaze, only it's not on a coin flip. So you're always going to be able to look at your opponent's hand. You're always going to be able to choose a trainer and shuffle it back into their deck, which is very good in this format. And then if that wasn't disruptive enough, we've also got 2 copies of Desert Shaman. So if your opponent is eking, you are able to Desert Shaman. Play out everything from your hand that you want to play, and then use a Desert Shaman to refresh your hand while simultaneously putting your opponent down 3 cards. And then also serving similar to Unknown E. If you Desert Shaman and you just so happen to draw a Rocket's Trap off of your Desert Shaman, and then you can hit them down to 1 card off of that, that is an excellent way to go about winning a game. Next in line, we've got 2 copies of Professor Oak, just for refreshing your hand, and also for putting some electric energies in the discard pile for Rocket Zapdos with the Plasma attack. Next is, we've got 3 copies of Scoop Up. This is able to deny knockouts from your opponent, so you can pick up a Zapdos that's got a lot of damage on it that's going to faint the next time that it's hit. You can use it to take a Pokemon out of the active slot that's going to, be knocked out the next turn. Also, as a positive, incidental effect, you're most likely putting electric energies into the discard pile to be picked up by a Rocket Zapdos later down the line. So, great card in this deck. Next is 2 copies of Gust of Wind. A lot of your knockouts are coming from a well-timed Gust of Wind. Got 3, actually, copies of Energy Removal. Just more disruption. You want to get as much disruption going as possible in this deck. Your attacks don't deal a ton of damage outside of Electro Burn, so just keeping your opponent off of attacking while you're doing a lot of chip damage is very useful. Next is the 1 item finder. You need 1 extra copy of whatever trainer in your deck. This is what's going to get you there. So, notable exclusions. We're obviously not on any copies of Town Volunteers. We should be winning before we need a Town Volunteers. We're also excluding any copies of Pokemon Trader, and that is because we're able to draw so fast. We don't really need to be exchanging Pokemon from our hand into the deck to get another Pokemon. It's a very slim line. You have a lot of big basic Pokemon in this deck, so you don't really need to be searching for a line that you need to make. And there's 4 Hoothoots, 4 Noctowls for that reason. You're allowed to discard a Hoothoot or a Noctowl, and you'll still be just fine and be able to execute the entire plan of this deck. So onto the energy. We're looking at 4 Metal Energy. This is for the Zapdos to reduce the recoil damage of Electro Burn down to 10 if you have 3 electric energy and 1 metal energy attached to the Zapdos. You're able to Electro Burn your opponent's Pokemon for 60 and only take 10 damage as recoil. Extremely good. It's also just fine to take one of these and attach it to your Cleffa. Your opponent's on an Earth Rift Steelix. You can attach these to your Noctowls to maintain the HP on your Noctowls so that they don't get knocked out. Anyway, next is 3 copies of Warp Energy. Similar to Scoop Up, you're able to take a Pokemon that's about to be knocked out of the active slot and then go in with a benched attacker because it requires very little energy for you to start swinging with a benched attacker, so you could just retreat on out of there and hopefully keep it alive until you are able to find a Scoop Up and pick it back up and put the Pokemon back down with no damage counters, like a fresh Pokemon. So, very good card. And I've got a lot of electric energy here to round it out. Let me just count them so I give you an accurate number. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 13 electric energies, just so that we're able to stay consistent with our typing. There it is. That's the most current up-to-date Zap Trap deck. It's very straightforward. Probably one of the easiest decks for a new player to pick up and play, but also very, very effective at winning games, and it lets good players be good. Like you can win any matchup with this deck, as long as you're making the right calls and are at least 50-50 with your luck. So Anyway, that's it for this deck. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. We do fun Pokemon things here. Yeah,